adapter video for the Kendo grid and chart capability that's within IBIS 2.3. Again, this video is meant to show capability and to hopefully allow an adopter to think about the things that an end user would actually need to be seeing in a video and create their own video that would be way better than this quick and dirty little video. So with this video, this is the second one. You'll see here that I still have the screenshot of the first video that was showing the basic capabilities. This video, we're going to talk about what happens when you have a two-dimensional data set that has what's called a series or a group. So for this example, I've actually used a query result, and I can't have my screen recording working at the same time as my VPN connection, so I won't be able to do this live, but I've already ran this query and have the chart up here, and I'll just go through how this chart and grid work together when you have what's called a series or a group. So I'm going to go down to the grid. The first thing that you'll notice that's different between this grid and the basic grid is that the grouped one has an extra row here. And this is a control row that allows you to expand and collapse each series or each group of data records. And this is an optional row. If an adopter does not want this row, it's one line of CSS to turn this row off to make it invisible, so you don't have to see this row. One problem we do have, and there's a ticket in with Kendo right now to get this fixed, is that if you hide the actual column that has this little group by control N, you cannot resize any of these columns within your grid. Again, a ticket's been logged, not sure what the issue is, but you kind of need to have this column showing. Even if you turn off the row, even if you turn off this row, this column has to be there for now, or you won't be able to resize your columns. As a matter of fact, it's not just resizing it, but Kendo does some weird stuff with how they determine the size of that. So it's really important to keep this column visible for now. Just like on the basic grid, you have these menus on your columns. The thing that you don't get is when you are talking about the column that is associated with the actual data that is grouped by, or the series data, you cannot sort. Now, internally, the sort order XML element is being used to determine the proper ordering when you're creating your group. But you cannot, the end user cannot click on the title here and have this sort. That has been turned off for now. We do have a menu on the column that is associated with the group, and you'll see here, that's another little issue with Kendo Grid. You notice I just clicked, you might not have seen that, but I clicked on this and it didn't do anything. Sometimes the Kendo Grid works that way. The first time you click on one of these titles within the column, it won't do anything, it'll just jump. So the second time and the third time from then on, it works just fine. So I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to show you what's available for the group by or the series column. You can turn columns on and off, and you can still filter. And again, the filtering is just like the other basic grid filtering. You have to match the value that is shown in the column, not the underlying sort order value. So in this case, I want to show one more thing on the columns. The group by sort order column is included in the grid, but it's not shown. You can turn this on if you want. The reason that this is provided is so that if you want to import this into Microsoft Excel, that this value is there, so you can still group by a numeric value. By default, it is hidden, and most users probably will not turn that value on. One of the things that I need to show in this grid as well is the ability to show non-numeric data. So what happens is that your title, your formatted value, is what's shown in the column on your values here. Here's the value column. In this case, it's count. This particular query had some insufficient data and it had some issues with interpreting the data, and so you'll see we have stars and a star after this. Kendo charts does not show data in their charts that have alphabetical characters in with them. It will choke and die, and so those values are removed from the chart. And you'll notice here, even though this legend shows that there's 50-plus-year-old grouping, there's a 50-plus-year-old grouping available right here, there will not be any data because every one of these data points have a character in there, and they have to be cleared out or else it'll fail. So one thing to see here, though, is that you'll see that we have an under 15, and under 15 actually does have data values. The reason you're not seeing the under 15 data values in this particular chart is because the value is so small and the scale of it basically makes it 0. So these values here are, approaching 20,000, and so when you're talking 27 versus 20,000, you're not going to see anything. So just to show that there is actual data there's a couple of ways you can do this. This is going to show another advanced capability with the Kendo charts. You can take and click on the legends here and turn off data series. So we're going to leave the under 15 up, and we're going to get rid of, let's get rid of some of the big players here. Let's get rid of that one and that one. We'll just start getting down here. Now you'll notice here, there's one little value that's just starting to show up, and it's under 15. If we hover over that, it's under 15 for the year 2010, and its value is 27, which is the right data value. If we want to make this even a little bit bigger, let's get rid of the purple one, get rid of that, and it didn't help it much, but it's still there. And you'll notice that our 45 to 49 year value is showing up a little better now as well. Get rid of the 18 to 19 year olds, and now it looks even better, but you can still see. So you can see, you get the idea of what you can do with this. The other thing that we could do, let's turn all these back on, is just to show this again, we're going to filter out. Let's go through and show the filtering capability again. So within the series, if I want to show the 15 to 19 year olds and maybe the 45 year olds, so I would come in here and I would create a filter, and I would say, well, we'll just do contains 15, which should be unique, or it contains 49. That's a filter, and now you see I just have these two series data rows here, under 15 and 15 to 17, and I'm missing the 49 one, so what did I do wrong? Let's go look at our filter again. Oh, I said is equal to. So we need to say contains. So we say contains 15 or 49. And you notice that the 15 to 17 year old showed up here as well. So what I need to say here is I'll do starts with, and I'll say under 15. Now we'll filter that. Now I've got my 15 year olds and my 45 to 49 year olds, and you can see that's what I see in the chart. So that right there demonstrates the basic capabilities. The one thing that I need to show here is what happens when you start clicking on the sorting of the category. So if I sort ascending 2008, 9, 10, 11, actually let's clear all this here. So I get 8, 9, 10, and 11, and that's right. And I'm going to now do it descending, so it's 11, 10, 9, 8. And now the third time I click on it, I'm getting the no sort or the unsort option. And in this case, you'll notice that the years are now messed up. They go from 10 to 8 to 11 to 9. This is a problem that's been identified, and a ticket has been filed with Kendo. As of yet, we have no resolution for this. It's just kind of, it has a mind of its own, and just be aware of it. The way that you get the default sorting order back is you either have to sort it by ascending or descending, or you have to refresh the page. That works. The last thing that's worthwhile to note is, let's say, like on our really basic example, you could sort by the value. We could go in here and sort by this, and we'll change our type back to the, actually let's show a line chart. So you could actually sort by the value, and it would change things. In this two-dimensional, or where we have a series or a group, you can't do that. So if we sort by count, you'll notice that this grouping did not change at all. And that is because you cannot change the sort order or the ordering in any way, shape, or form of the column that is the series or the group column. So it's always going to be in this order. It's always going to be under 15 up through unknown. No matter how you sort the value, it does not change it. You cannot change this internal sorting. Now if I change the chart type, we can get some other idiosyncrasies that will show up, but for the most part, just be aware that when you try to sort values within something that has two-dimensional data, it's probably not going to work the way you think it will. I think that's going to conclude this video. The third video is going to show missing values in a two-dimensional data set and the problems that you will see and run into with that. Hope this video is helpful, and we'll see you on the next video.